RMJ movie reviews back again. And I'm coming with another happy holiday Halloween movie review. And like I said, I was trying to aim this time towards this year. I was trying to aim more towards pictures that maybe casual horror fans aren't really that familiar with. Last year, I think I kind of did a good mixture of both, but I think I lean more towards the traditional. This year, I've been kind of trying to get away from that, but of course, like I said, I'm gonna mix in the traditional ones, the Fridays and the Nightmares that we all know about. Okay, now I've chosen one. This is for hardcore horror fans. They know about this film. A film called Pumpkinhead, which was directed by the late great special effects master Stan Winston, starring the great man himself, Lance Henriksen, and Superman himself, Jeff East, from Superman the movie. This again, like my 100 millionth time complaint. These new DVD covers, this does not do justice to this film. This is a very generic, corny cover. But either way, I hate this cover. Yeah, this is a collector's edition of Pumpkinhead DVD that I actually bought back in, I think I bought this in 2008 or 7. Really good special features on here. You know, I'm actually going to talk about that a little bit later after the movie. Pumpkinhead is a film that I actually saw when it first came on video. I believe it came on video in 1989. But one of my aunts rented it from the video store from Earl's Video Store. You guys try to see if you can find the bumper on YouTube somewhere. But I rented it from Earl's or Errol's Video Store. And we never finished the picture, but it's got a very interesting premise. Basically, Pumpkinhead tells the story of a demon. Basically, Pumpkinhead is this demon that and he operates off of other people's vengeance, human beings' vengeance. So he can be conjured up if a man is wronged, and if a man is wronged, Pumpkinhead is brought about to make those wrongs right. I guess if you can use the word right in this circumstances, right would be another name for just killing the people who did something bad to you. But Lance Henriksen happens to be that guy who is ready to conjure up a little bit of vengeance because some nice good old-fashioned 1980s teenagers decide to go dirt bike riding a la The Hills Have Eyes Part 2 1985. And they jump over the hill, and Lance Henriksen is a widowed father. His cute little old kid who looks like Dennis the Menace with giant Coke bottle glasses, and his cute old doggy gets ran over by the motorcycles and he's dead. So therefore, Lance Henriksen is slightly miffed about that, and he thinks that it's a good idea to conjure up Pumpkinhead and get a little bloodthirsty revenge. This is a very well-constructed monster movie. As far as the writing is concerned, it's about what you expect from this movie. Where's Eddie? Where's Eddie? No! That's about what you get here. The teenage characters, which really look like 30-year-olds to me, but the teenage characters, typical stock teenage beer drinking horny kids of that genre from that decade. So, but everybody gives forth their best effort. They scream, they holler, they get bloody. Hey, they do their job. Lance Henriksen brings upon rewatching the film now, because I haven't seen the film, I haven't watched it in a couple years, probably since I bought it, but Lance Henriksen really brings some weight to this picture. We all know Lance Henriksen is a fabulous character actor. He can do anything. I mean, he could play Bishop in Aliens, he could play the bad guy in Hard Target. Lance Henriksen is a brilliant character actor. He could just do anything. And he really plays the grieving, widowed father very well here. His anger and his vengeance is very, you really feel for it. Matter of fact, upon rewatching this movie, looking at it now, the kid is cute, and when he gets killed, it's pretty heavy when he gets killed. When I saw it on video, I don't know, when I was like 7 when this movie came on video. Hey, what's the big deal? Your son just got ran over by a motorcycle. But I'm a grown man now, so I know how heavy it is. But you really feel bad for the kid. It actually is very sad, and Lance Henriksen plays those range of emotions when they got the setup scenes of him with his son. I mean, he really loves his son. It's very tender, sweet stuff. And then for him to go to that inner boiling rage, really good stuff. Pumpkinhead himself is absolutely fantastic. It's the guy, I think Alex Gillis, and I can't remember the other guy's name, but these guys did all the movies from back in the day. They did Aliens. They did, I believe, The Monster Squad, which I think I ought to put that up on my channel too. They did, what else did they do? Jesus, excuse me, guys. Right now, I drew a brain fart. Alien 3. But either way, they did all those special effect creature movies from back then. And they did a fantastic job with this thing. This is a very scary looking creature. He kind of looks he looks like a demon. That's exactly what he looks like. And he's kind of got almost like these kind of stilt looking legs. They almost look hoof like, but he doesn't have hooves, and he's got a tail that wiggles around. Very good costume and impractical effects. If one thing that I like to mention about what I miss about this time when you had the aliens in this movies and Gremlins and Sloth and the Vomit Creature and all these movies, the Monster Squad, all those movies that came back from then, is that, say what you will say about the clothes and the hair and all the cliches of the 80s decade, you cannot take away the fact that CGI, although you can create these vast landscapes and you can create all these creatures, they are not in front of the actor when they're filming the movie. And the fact that you have Pumpkinhead right there in front of the actors and he's practical and people are literally reacting to this big giant creature thing with slime drooling all out of it, you cannot duplicate how real and visceral that feels with CGI. So you can keep doing the Batmans and the Supermans and the Jurassic Worlds and all that, but you cannot take away the fact that a guy in a costume with drool coming out his mouth is so much more effective than phony CGI. And actually, side digression, Mitch and Amick, who stars in Sleepwalkers, actually, they did a panel discussion about Sleepwalkers on YouTube. She actually mentions that, about how much more effective the special effects in Sleepwalkers are versus CGI now. Okay, that's my tangent. Fabulous creature, very creepy. The woman, I think Agnes, basically she's a witch, and she summons up Pumpkinhead. Very, very creepy. I remember when I saw the film on video when we were watching it, me and my cousins as a kid, in my aunt's little apartment that she used to live in. I used to love that apartment, digressing. But I was very creeped out by that witch. Now she's not as scary. She just kind of looks old and all dusty now, but still very good villain. Not a lot of screen time, but very sinister, very creepy, just well done. The atmosphere in this movie is fantastic. Very much gothic. A lot of smoke everywhere. The lighting is spectacular in this thing. I mean, it really evokes the feeling of just this gothic, creepy monster world. You know what I mean? Heavy blues, heavy oranges. It really puts you in this world, and I love how there's a lot of good scenes in particular. There's one scene where Pumpkinhead at the end is running at this chick who's got a flamethrower, and there's a little strobe effect going on. So they're not just full on light. In those movies you kind of got to play with the lighting to kind of hide that it's an actor and strings and all that. But it kind of is a little strobe effect as Pumpkinhead is grabbing this flamethrower from the girl. And the effect is it looks very cool, creepy looking. I love that. And my second favorite shot with the lighting, actually there's three. The second one is where Pumpkinhead is walking through this abandoned church. And he comes across this crucifix, but the lighting as the lighting goes through all these slots, and you just see him kind of lumbering along through this church. It is a beautiful lighting, beautiful lighting. It really sets the sinister mood of the movie, and that's what I love. I love the mood, although this is kind of like one of those movies where like the city folk come into this kind of off in the cut like hillbilly kind of deserted world where all this mystical stuff happens. That lighting really makes you feel like you're in this world. So once these kids leave the city, they're in another world now, So I really like that. And another shot that I love is where the girl is walking across the cabin, which is actually the cabin from Friday the 13th, the final chapter, and Eraser, and a whole bunch of other movies. And by the way, Teddy and Jimbo's house that was across the way, I guess was not there. I guess that was a facade that was built for final chapter. But either way, that's the house that the kids are chilling at, Tommy Jarvis's house. And the girl walks across, right? The camera pans this way, and you can see Pumpkinhead walking past the window. Brief shot, excellent stuff. Excellent, excellent, excellent. You just can't top that. This is a fantastic B-horror movie. I think Stan Winston did a good job directing. I think the cinematographer did a fantastic job. The music is very moody, very creepy. I love how in these old movies they really do that. There's kind of a part in the soundtrack where there's like a bell where it goes, dong. I can't really describe it, but a lot of movies back in the 80s used to do it. They kind of use it a little bit in the Jason Lives Friday the 13th Part 6 teaser trailer. I kind of wish they would bring that back, but when I make my first slasher movie, I'll bring that back. I'll definitely bring back a lot of this old school stuff. That's what I'm aiming for. But this is a great, underrated little horror picture that's handled with a lot of care. The creature design is great. The acting isn't great, but Lance Henriksen really sells it. Dick Warlock, Halloween 2 fame, shows up in the beginning of the movie. What's the one guy? The one guy who's been in all the John Carpenter movies, the guy who talks like that. And he was the guy who was in Escape from New York who was getting a Buck. I think his name is Buck Flowers. I think that might be his name. But he pops up in here. Great actor. This is a fun monster movie. Don't take it too seriously. It's a very lean movie. I think it's literally like an hour and like 20 minutes or 22 minutes. It's just fun. Also, too, what I like is it kind of gets into the slasher movie tropes of the day, but they had no choice. The one at a time, you're killing everybody type of thing. But what I love is that when Pumpkinhead actually starts offing people, if you want to go into this movie seeing Pumpkinhead do some really good kills, like we watched the Friday the 13th 80 movies, like Friday 4, crushing people's heads in the shower head and the meat cleaver to the face and all that, you're not really going to get really cool kills here. This movie is more focused on just the horror of the situation and the horror of the environment, the horror of Pumpkinhead himself. That's what you're more focused on, and kind of the themes of vengeance and how, if you want blood, you're going to have to pay for it. It ain't free. And you find out through the story that Lance Henriksen does pay for his vengeance. And I think if I'm right in the story, I think for every person that gets asked to summons Pumpkinhead, turns into a soon-to-be Pumpkinhead. I think that's what I gathered. They don't literally say that in the movie, but they just show it to you with the behavior and the actions, which is the way movies should be. You don't always have to give the accountant J.K. Simmons monologue and explain the movie to death. But that's not a knock. I love that movie, The Accountant. It was good. Digressing. But this is a fantastic horror picture. Like I said, once Pumpkinhead goes to action, the kills are fairly simple, fairly quick, fairly generic. But that's okay. We're just more focused on just living in this environment and this cool world and just how cool Pumpkinhead looks. It's a cool creature design. I really like this movie. I think in the pantheon of 1980s horror pictures, it'd really be nice if it could be mentioned a little bit more. So that's my review of Pumpkinhead. Yes, I have seen Pumpkinhead 2. I never saw 3. I think I saw like 4. I think 4 is like where Lance Henriksen comes back, even though not going to give away any spoilers, but he dies in this one. It's been like 30 years, guys, so you should have seen the movie by now. But Pumpkinhead 2, I did not care for. I mean, I've seen reviews where people say they liked it. I thought it sucked. I didn't like the way Pumpkinhead looked in it. I just... About the only cool thing I think I like about Pumpkinhead 2 is I like the idea that, like, this deformed, retarded kid was, like, murdered and then his soul comes back in Pumpkinhead. I kind of thought that was cool, but I don't like that movie at all. But, and I've never seen the rest, except for Pieces of Part 4. But, woo, smoking. Thumbs up the video. Subscribe to the channel and share the video. And leave comments down below about the 1988 underrated gem Pumpkinhead, starring Lance Henriksen.